how do you think your leadership style has allowed you to excel in your position?
It's a great question. I do think that the presence and leadership style of a particular leader, whether you're over a department or an organization, influences the climate and the culture significantly. So it's one thing to say this is what we stand for, but if your behaviors do not closely align with those concepts or values, then they are empty platitudes and they really don't mean a lot. So I'd first say I think a leader's style is really, really important to add credibility to what you say you're about. I would say I've had the benefit of a lot of feedback over my years as a leader in my development, and words that have been used to reaffirm my style would include inclusive, so an inclusive style, authentic, and also I think being able to communicate concepts and ideas in a way that is accessible to stakeholders at all levels in the organization. And so I think it's really important to be inclusive. I think that when it comes to decision making, there's a lot of literature around decision rights, who owns what aspect of a decision. But I'm convinced that unless you engage with people who have to live with the decision, that there's not going to be a lot of support. So I think it's important to be inclusive and to consult with the right people about a decision where they may have unique expertise or insight, and especially if the decision will affect them. It's really important to be inclusive in that way. And I think all of us want to be part of something bigger. I think those of us in healthcare, no matter what role we have, we want to be part of something special and meaningful and worthwhile. And so you want to be part of a group, a team, and I think inclusiveness is very valuable in that regard. I think that authenticity is invaluable. And the way I kind of think about it is you can see somebody coming from a mile away, and you can tell as you begin to interact with them, if you get a sense as to are they authentic, are they sincere, or are they sort of saying certain words that they feel like they should say, or are they trying to be a certain way. And so I don't mean to imply they have to be perfect as a leader, but I think authenticity is really important. And people want to understand that there's a lot of sophistication at large in running an organization, but they want it to be real. Everybody wants to be able to connect. And I remember when I was a medical unit secretary that I felt like I was appreciated, even if it was just a simple kind gesture or a greeting or a smile. I felt appreciated and valued by the CEO of the hospital, by the senior leadership of the organization. And that was huge. That was a big deal. And I think it's important to never forget that it's the people doing the work that create the experience for our patients. And so I believe authenticity is really, really important. And I think it engenders trust. And that's critical. I do believe that a leader in any position and across various mediums needs to continually work on effective communication methods. And so if that's in a one-on-one dialogue, that's a different style of communication than you might require in a formal presentation or in a team meeting or in a board meeting, or if you're writing a blog or some sort of letter or something like that. So I do think that when you reflect on issues that involve people, it seems to always come down to communication. When it implies a direction that a team is heading in, people need to understand what is the direction and why are we heading in that direction, and how do I contribute to the progress that we need to make. And certainly when it comes to articulating the organization externally, you want the organization's reputation to be positive and well received. And when you have those opportunities, it's a chance to not just accurately portray what you're about, but it's a chance to allow external stakeholders to get a glimpse into the culture of the organization based on how you come across, because you set the tone as the top leader for the organization.